Hi, I'm Sab and I'm going to talk about my TMR experience. So let's go. Yes, po, my musical influences, most of them are also singer-songwriters kasi that's the path I want to follow on. So, syempre, there's the big ones, yung mga international na Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, tsaka si Sarah Bareilles, and then also Joshua Bassett. And then for local, most of them are bands actually, which is really fun. I belong to the Zoo, and then also December Avenue, and then of course Ben and Ben. And then, how did I start music? Good question. Nagsimula ako nung bata pa ako, pero hindi ko naman alam na ito yung magiging work ko balang araw. I just assumed, oh, this is something that I enjoy doing. This is something that can become a passion, and then now it is my passion. So I'm very happy that I got to enter the industry through auditioning with Star Music, and then now I have an EP out. Yes po, nasa college po ako ngayon. It used to be business management, pero nag-shift po ako sa music prod. So,
Nice.
tutok na talaga ako sa music. How would I describe my music? I'd say that it's indie pop, also has bits of acoustic as well as Disney sound. That's the feedback I get most from my team, and also that's what my family says. This was always like the way that I sang. Actually, nung mas bata pa ako, nung wala pa akong voice lessons, parang mas slang ako habang kumakanta ako. I remember for some reason sa Star Music auditions ko, for some reason I sounded British kahit hindi naman ako taga Europe. And then I think that's just because I kept listening to Ed Sheeran. Pero after I took theater, my voice became like more full, and then also I got to pronounce the words more clearly. So I think the way my voice is a combination of the way it naturally is, and then also like all my voice lessons through the years. It was like it's like a live setup na may band playing, and then it's a very cool experience because it was my first time ever doing that. And then parang live sessions lang nung nakikita ko sa YouTube, and then now I was doing it. So it's like, whoa, this is cool. I'm very, very happy. And then what's nice about the band is that you can hear it so well, and then you'll hear the differences from, like, for example, just the M1. And then people are actually like doing the backing vocals live. So like, for example, I'll see Sina Trisha, Denise, and Sir Jonathan in the front singing at the same time. Well, for Sunsets in Heaven, basically my entire EP talks about relationships when you grow up. So it could be with yourself, with your family, with your friends, with like society as a whole. And then it just talks about how it shapes you as a person, and then all of those experiences melted into one. So it's definitely like a coming of age album and just getting to know yourself as you get older. And then what's really nice about the Sunsets in Heaven is that I have a song also there. It's the title track, Sunsets in Heaven. Nung iniisip namin yung title para sa album, actually there wasn't one at first. The song was already there. All of the songs were in order na. And then I was just thinking, oh, should it be this other title, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, oh, actually, Sunsets in Heaven sounds nice already. So pinili ko yung Sunsets in Heaven na kasi, to be honest, I had like a gut feeling na, okay, this is it. This encompasses everything. And then, to be honest, I just went with my gut for that. So I'm very happy that the title worked out because it's cute. And then for making the album, it was a very fun process. I'd say it took a couple of months, hindi naman umabot ng isang year. And then it was made little by little. At first, there was my debut single na She, and then Dancing in the Dark, and then Always Be the Same. And then after those 3 singles, that's when my team was like, oh, you know what, we should make an album or an EP. And then I was like, okay. So yung mga remaining songs na 2 AM, Soft Hearts, tsaka Sunset in Heaven, ginawa ko sa span ng 3 months. So if you listen to it in sort of that order, you'll hear different points of my voice. Like some of them sound younger, and some of them sound like fuller, and some of them sound more Broadway-ish. Well, for me po, para sa akin, I think that my genre, which is indie pop, is actually it's kind of mainstream, but in terms of like international sound, I think it's more mainstream there. Which I kind of do. I like to write in this genre mainly because it's what's most comfortable, tsaka most personal to me. It's something that I fall into quite easily. So for me, it comes aligned with me just wanting to be as honest as possible with my music. So it's okay for me naman na if my music isn't exactly the most mass or most mainstream, because I want to be as honest as possible, especially to my audience. And then for me, I'm just very, very thankful for the opportunity that Star Music gives me, because they really let me, like, for example, they're like, oh, do you want to write a song to this person, or do you want to like see if you can collaborate with this person? So they're very supportive with how my music is. Para sa akin po, mas challenging siya, especially if it's not in my genre specifically. But I enjoy it as a person who wants to be a singer-songwriter and also a producer in the future. I'm like, okay, I'm down for anything. Kahit hindi to yung genre na sa akin, I kind of just go into it. Actually, I've submitted songs na, I will not say the artist muna, kasi baka delikado tayo dyan. But I've written and submitted songs, for example, in dance pop. So yung mga K-pop sounds, I've submitted songs for that. Tapos for one of my demos, I actually rapped in one of them. So it was fun. It's definitely an awesome experience to work with Sir Jonathan. Actually, throughout this entire EP, he's the one who produced everything. So I got to be in the studio with him a lot. So especially me, who's taking music prod now, I get to learn a lot about like how it actually is in the business. For example, oh, what tool should I use? Like what app should I use to produce this type of song? Or also how you're supposed to do layering. Then in terms of songwriting, he's very, very open. He's not afraid to give his collaborators creative freedom, which I'm very, very thankful for. And then when we wrote Dreams Don't Wait Together, initially I submitted the song, and then he was able to change it into the genre most suitable for Marry Me, Marry You, which was very, very cool. And then he also consulted me on lyrics, on what we could add, and then I'm just very thankful for the whole process. Actually, yung songwriting ko po, parang it became more active during the time of the pandemic, because before that, I was only writing songs for like my musical in school, our theater org. But then, ever since the pandemic, I had more time to write. So I kind of just, for example, I'd write almost every day. And then that's where the process sort of built up, where I was used to writing a lot, no matter if I finished it or not. And then in terms of music, I was able to also expand my variety. So like what I said kanina, I wrote songs in like a lot of random genres. So yung mga dance pop, yung R&B also, I wrote in R&B. And then indie, that one rap song that we will not talk about. Yo. And then I'm just very thankful that I got to explore all of it. Dancing in the Dark, it was my second single na release ko last December 2020, I believe. And then that song is actually, yung kanta na yan yung unang-unang kanta na sinulat ko sa gitara. 16 years old ako noon. And then it was actually like 1 month or 2 months after I wrote She. Tapos the sounds like completely different. So that's what makes people go like, oh, so you wrote in different sounds before pa naman. And I was like, oh, I guess you're right. This song, parang may pagkahugot siya kasi talks about love that cannot be. Talks about only getting to love someone in one moment kasi after that, wala na, tapos na. Paubayan na. And then, me, I have never experienced that actually. So, what happened was that I heard the song Perfect by One Direction. Tapos may isang linya dun na it goes, if you like having secret little rendezvous. I was like, woo, rendezvous. That sounds fancy. Gagamitin ko yun. So I did. It's like in the first verse. So that's how the rest of the song is built. Off the top of my head, Feel Something by Joshua Bassett. There's also an Alec Benjamin song, The Way You Felt, I think. And then Paubaya by Moira.
Okay.
Then ano pa? The Baddest by BGYO. That's what I'm also thinking of. And then also Soft Hearts by SAB. My song She, which is my debut single, parang ang dami kong dinaanan with that song. Because it was the first ever song I wrote. I think I was like 14, 15. It started as an accident kasi our English teacher was like, okay guys, you have to write a poem, slam poetry. Yan yung project namin. Eh ako, super grade conscious ako dati. So sinabi ko talaga, okay, gagalingan ko yun. Magwa-100 ako sa grades ko. Tapos, after that, I ended up joining like our school contest for the poem because I was selected in my class. And then I won for the poem, which was really, really cool. And then after that, I was learning the uke a few months after when I saw the poem again. So I used it as inspiration for the topic, which was self-love tsaka self-acceptance. And then, dyan ginoo ko yung kanta na She. And then, what's really weird is like 1 month after I finished She, pumasok ako sa Star Music audition. And then, I sang it there. And then my parents were actually hearing it for the first time kasi hindi ko to share with like anyone. And then, thankfully, they liked me kasi nandito na po ako. I was 15, 2 months away from 16. And then a few months after that, I recorded it with Sir Jonathan. And then 1-ish year after that, we released it, yung She. The first time it came out, like, nasa Spotify, nasa YouTube, I was just like, wow, I'm an artist? Question mark. For me, unang inaral ko yung piano. It was my first instrument when I was 7. So I took formal lessons from that. Parang grade 1 hanggang grade 8. Ang tagal nun. And then, after that, I learned uke at age 15. Pero self-taught ako. Then I learned guitar at 16. So that's also self-taught. So, pang YouTube yung mga alam ko. So my song, Soft Hearts, this was probably, I think it was the hardest song to write. Kasi ito yung unang fast, tsaka upbeat song ko. And then, mas sanay akong magsulat ng mga indie pop na gitara, for example, She, and then like Sunsets in Heaven. That's the sound I'm more used to writing in. So for Soft Hearts, I started sa piano, and then I was like, okay, let's make it sound cool. Let's make it sound upbeat. So I'm very happy that it worked out. To be honest, I don't know how I was able to make it. I just kept listening to a lot of pang upbeat na fun songs, and then Sir Jonathan was the one who suggested na, oh, we should try writing in something similar to She, where it's like empowerment and also not taking life too seriously, enjoying the little things, just being where you are right now. So that's where a lot of the song focused on. And then Sarah Bareilles was a huge inspiration for it. I think 2AM is one of my most personal songs sa album because as you can imagine, the title 2AM is also because I think I wrote and somewhat finished this song from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. on like some random day. And then the reason why it's called 2 a.m. is that it talks about how Gen Z, especially teenagers, parang nag-open up sila tapos nagiging mas vulnerable sila at the early hours of the morning. Like, my parents know this. Parang nagbe-video call ako with my friends hanggang madaling araw. So, sorry, mom and dad. And then, with it, I noticed a pattern, like what I said in what the song talked about. Whenever I was talking to my friends around early hours of the morning, that's when we would open up and tell each other our problems, what we were worrying about, what we were too afraid to tell other people. So that's what I focused the song on. And then originally, I think 2AM was actually 2 different songs. It was the earlier version of 2AM, which I wrote the September before. And then also a song I wrote called Isn't It Funny, which I also think I wrote the September before. That's why if you hear the verses, it always starts with Isn't It Funny, because it was like a separate song that it mishmashed together really well. Unang tumakbo sa utak ko. It's like, wow, I'm here. It's so legit. It's so cool. As in, like, it was like the box that they were talking about where it's like the music room and then I could see the band at the side. Tapos yung nasa gitna, there's a mic stand with multiple instruments. So I was like, wow, I can't wait to get on stage. Because I remember, nung unang pumasok ako, si Angela yung kumakanta. I was just like, this is great. I wanna be here forever. Intimate. I'll use that word. Intimate. Intimate because I remember when walking in, the first thing everyone was telling me sa team or like my co-artists, they're saying, okay, so this amazing TMR experience, it should be very personal. Don't be afraid to be yourself because these are your songs and then these are also your stories. So just show them what you have within you and then let the music take it away. That's it. I hope magustuhan ninyo yung aking performance sa TMR as well as my other co-artists who are absolutely wonderful and talented dito sa TMR. And I hope you can follow me on @officialsab music on all social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Kumu, and @officialsab music on Twitter. And also don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to OneMusic YouTube channel.